Okay, once again, I apologize for the technical interruption. Um, Once again, this your soul brother Talib coming straight at you. Um, and as you best know me from the Reality Temple Ministries, aka Operation Exodus, Mississippi. Uh, Moving forth, I like to just make a quick video talking about the events that I've been hearing throughout the day going on around the country and in the midst of this coronavirus pandemic that's going on globally, of course, still, despite the fact that many states around the country have reopened for business as usual. But however, I like to go into actually talking about what took place once again involving a police shooting of a black man in Minnesota, and also not a police shooting. I'm sorry, but a black death at the hands of a police. Still, even though this time it didn't involve a shooting in the state of Minnesota, as well as a white woman threatening a soul brother that she would call the police on him to tell them that a black African American male was threatening her after he asked her to put a leash on her dog. Okay, in Central Park in New York City, where we have been recently hearing about, bias, discriminatory police practices toward black Americans during COVID-19 as they targeted blacks while they allowed, you know, Caucasians to do whatever they please during this coronavirus pandemic. And of course, once again, going back to that situation in New York, well, like I said, he asked her simply, which is also a city ordinance order, to put a leash on her dog, which she didn't do. And as he was filming her, she walked toward him with the dog. And as she was threatening him about calling the police on him, with the false lie, him threatening her, he simply told her in response, do whatever she like, while he was recording this. Okay. So she called the police, and of course they came, and unfortunately nothing didn't happen tragically in this situation, which could have as a result of her calling the police in the first place on him, being that he was a black male, of course, like she identified him as. And what happened was, behind the events of this situation, she ended up getting fired from her job. And, it was a good career job that she had. Well, and from my understanding, she's complaining about now that this is going to destroy her. Well, she wasn't concerned about that when she put this black man's life in jeopardy by calling the police on him just because he was black. Okay. So, hey, and if anything, she need to be charged with falsifying a report on top of that too. Okay, she lucky she ain't yet been charged with because of doing that, and but anyway, the four cops that were involved in a Minneapolis killing of a black man in Minneapolis, Minnesota, were formally fired without pay, and rightfully so. And also now, the FBI and local authorities in Minnesota are investigating this crime as well, because this is going to be a prosecution. And the fact that people have started already protesting about this situation. And, like I agreed with someone in social media, who also said that this need to be a nationalized emergency. This need to be a nationalized outrage, to help put a stop to this situation, with all these, frivolous, unjustifiable killings of black people at the hand of police, And, like I said, it's going to come to a point now that what's going to end up having to take place is that, these four police is going to have to be held accountable for what they did. It was just outright. And with the fact that people that were there filming it the whole time, this police apprehension of this 46-year-old black guy was going on and taking place. They kept telling them that the guy wasn't breathing, as the guy even said in his own last words that he couldn't breathe. A similar situation like what happened in Eric Gardner's case in New York a few years ago. And, they kept telling them, why the cop had his knee on the guy's neck, and the guy just motionlessly stopped moving all of a sudden. And, one of the witnesses even asked the cop, have you murdered this guy? Have you killed him, And so, they called, and of course, when they called for emergency backup help for the ambulance to come, and, they wrote in their report that the guy died of, medical causes and all this, but left out the fact that the police had his knee on the guy's neck, while the other ones had, was sitting on his back, while one other cop was handcuffing him, And so, of course, they tried to sweep it up under the rug, but, when the video camera showed what actually happened is what actually caused the immediate firing. And of course, the mayor and the police chief, because of pressure from the public, had to concede with this, of firing the four officers that was involved in this situation. Now, of course, how would this situation go when they get prosecuted, since the FBI and local authorities in Minnesota are criminally investigating this case? And how would this turn out? Would this be another situation where a cop gets off easily for killing a black man? I mean, as usual. So, that's something we're going to have to just see. But of course, like we've been talking about all along from this platform that I speak from, those of you who are, dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, choose still to want to live among the races. So, I mean, this is what you get. This is what you're going to keep getting, and this is what's going to keep continually going on, long as you want to remain around the races. Long as you want to remain among the races, integrated among the races, this is what you're going to get. This is what's going to keep continually going on until you decide that you want to separate from the racists for once and for all. And that's if that's what you will ever do, because it looks like that you're just perfectly comfortable with being around the racists, being among the races. You don't have no plan or whatsoever trying to separate from the races. So this is what's going to continue on happening, And all these, presidents that you want to get behind and vote for, whether it be Joe Biden or Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, don't have no plan in their campaign. They don't have no type of agenda along with the other agendas of their campaign to deal with this situation as far as corrupt police brutality, on this black and brown population here in this country. So, like I said before, what's going to end up happening is that this is just going to continue on going on until, black people decide, look, we got to establish a safe haven for ourselves by establishing a militia to protect us and our own. That's the only way this is going to have to come to an end, because we ain't got no help coming from these politicians, whether they're in Congress, whether they're in the Senate, or whether they are in the presidential Oval Office, or whether they are in a municipality or state government. We don't have no help coming from these people, period. They have shown us over and over, time after time, that we have no help coming from them. So we're going to have to form a safe haven for ourselves with a militia, to protect us and our children and families. We're going to have to, establish us a quarantine safe haven. And as simple as that. If we want to be protected from this onslaught of racial police brutality, and I don't know anything else to say other than that, which all this consists of part of our agenda with the Mississippi campaign, and, like I said before, the Mississippi campaign offers a way out of this misery for us as a people, but we choose to ignore it and simply deny the reality of what it could do to get us up out this situation that we find ourselves facing every day, as black people in this country. But until we decide that we are willingly ready to get ourselves up out this situation, we're going to keep hearing more about these situations, taking place. Like with this 46-year-old brother whose name I forgot. I forgot what his name was, but may he rest in peace, and, may condolence go to his family as well, but this was all over because he was accused of trying to forge a check. Over check forgery. The man wasn't armed. All he was trying to do was forge a check. And my understanding was the police grabbed him physically in an aggressive manner while he was getting out the car. They pulled him out the car aggressively. And of course, out of human reaction, it caused, in the way that he reacted humanly, they said he resisted, and that was the reason why they apprehended him the way they did, accordingly to what they said. But of course, like I said, the video cams disprove what they said, even in their report write up. And of course, now it resulted in them all getting fired. So right now, that's where that stands at. But like I said, once again, this is going to continue on happening. And had it not been, of course, for the witnesses who stood around and saw this, while they videotaped this going on, this would have got swept under the rug like usual. And this would have just been another dead end, of course. And, like I say, hey, look, this is going to continue on happening. We're going to continue seeing this. And also, I just want you to know, too, if these police get charged for this, because this case is being nationally, talked about throughout social media as well. So expect possibly for this case to get switched to another jurisdiction outside of the Minneapolis, Minnesota area. It might get tried in another part of the state of Minnesota, just like in the case of what happened when Amadou Dele Ali got shot back in '99, and when around that time when they killed Sean Bell. Both of them cases got switched to other jurisdiction parts in the state of New York, outside the New York City area where it actually took place at, which is one of the reasons why them cops got found not guilty in both cases, of course. And, this may happen now because this case is being publicized and they got the cameras showing that these cops actually murdered this guy. And it's no doubt. And this is why they got fired right on the spot without question, So, once again, moving along forward, like I say, this is going to keep happening anyway, either way it goes. We're going to keep hearing about, like the situation that took place when the brother got killed in Georgia while he was just out jogging. We're going to keep getting these same old stories, and until we decide that we've had enough and that we're going to have to stand up and protect ourselves, because no one else is going to do it. As far as us as black people, we're going to have to protect ourselves. We don't have nobody else in this country standing behind us, as far as litigating on our behalf, representing us politically on our behalf to stop the brutalities of racism that's constantly happening to us every day in this country, and especially when it comes even to discrimination, racial profiling, while we're being targeted every day in and day out, especially when they see us as nothing but an end, So, like I said before, we're going to keep on getting what we get, and it's just that simple, because we refuse to change our reality as it stands by, getting a couple of states behind us, starting with Mississippi, which is a base that we could definitely operate from to bring an end to this, But, of course, we keep on, doing the same thing, trying the same thing over and over, which ain't worked in nearly 100 years. And this is what we keep getting. So, hey, I don't, have really nothing else of far as with that to say, other than, you know, I just have to say that, this is one of the reasons why I choose not to belong to an organization, nor to even be involved in activism at this point. I'm almost at the point that I don't even want to be involved with activism any longer, because black people act like it's a joke. They act like this is not reality. These people got a plan for us, and it's not a good plan. And that one plan is to totally exterminate us, which is happening before our eyes, and we ain't trying to do nothing about it. We just sitting back, licking our chops like ain't nothing really happening, while we keep hearing about situations like what just happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, what just happened in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we just gonna keep getting what we get. And I really am at a point where I care, but in a way I don't care. We don't care enough to want to change our reality as a people in this country for once and for all from what it is. Then why should I care? And why should anybody else care if you don't care? As far as being a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America. I mean, So I mean, that's just where things stand at on that note. As far as I'm concerned, and I mean, it's like I want to also go into something else too before I end this short video, is that it was a brother, a 37-year-old brother, who got into an argument with another soul brother over some Kroger gas. And he ended up fatally getting shot over a gas pump at a Kroger gas station in Louisville, Kentucky. I mean, man, come on. You arguing with another cat over a gas pump? Something you could have simply just avoided by getting you another pump, or waiting till he get out the way and just letting him go on about his business. But you want to argue, let your pride get in the way, threaten the man knowing he's strapped, and then threaten to take his gun from him. And as you walking toward him like you gonna try and take his gun from him, you get 3 caps put in your chest. So, I mean, simply, that wasn't nobody else's fault but his. You wanted to challenge the man. He challenged you just to see what you was about, since you threatened that you was going to take the gun from him anyway. And, hey, the results is you got what you had coming, when you should have just went on ahead and went on about your business, even if you had to go somewhere else to pump gas in your car, just to avoid that situation, knowing you wasn't in no position, to defend yourself against that, knowing the man had a gun on him. Now, like I said, he dead, and the other brother facing time in prison over the situation or the killing of this brother, So like I said before, I mean, hey, I mean, there's a lot of strange things going on during COVID-19. But of course, these type of situations have always been going on even prior to COVID-19. But I guess people are starting for some reason to see apparently that this is going on. But this ain't the first time stuff like this has been going on. I mean, this is always going on, as those of you call the black community. I mean, this is a common occurring thing and a daily occurring thing in the black community, as you say. I mean, this is, I mean, come on. You dying over a gas pump. And I mean, like somebody said, you 37 years old. You should be he should have been beyond that type of childish behavior. Arguing over a damn gas pump. Really? That's what youngsters do. That's the type of mentality of a youngster. To argue over even something like that. He should have been beyond that. But since he wasn't, hey, well, he got his calling. And that was to his early grave, And see, this is the type of behavior is why I spoke about in my other videos, as to why I choose to separate from other black people. And this is one of the reasons why. Because of stuff like this. Whether you agree with what I'm saying and what I even said in that video about why I had a right to separate from other black people, well, that's one of the reasons. See, why? Other black people don't want to be around black people. That is one of the exact prime examples. I mean, who want to be around ignorant stuff like that? I mean, in a right mind. I mean, we already know that our people is mentally destroyed. And, because of that type of mental condition that we've been programmed to, act out under, which we've been conditioned to think in terms of such manner as to act savage toward one another, But I mean, hey, this is what it is. So, I mean, if you're not going to come to your, senses as far as, changing your condition, then just like it says in the Bible, in the Quran, God is not going to help you change your conditions. For those of you in religion who always want to, rely on some type of God to get you up out this condition, which ain't happened yet and apparently ain't gonna never happen, But like I said before, I mean, hey, this is what comes along with the package. I mean, and this is the reason why I choose not to want to be around other Negroes or so-called Negro Americans because of this type of mentality. You willing to die because somebody cut in front of you or got your gas pump. A gas pump you don't even own. On top of that, Kroger's own that gas pump. Negro, you don't even own the gas pump. Neither one of you. Now, like I said, one is dead over it and one is about to face a life sentence over it in prison over a daggone Kroger gas pump. Come on, really? I mean, man. But this is what comes along with the conditioning of the mind and the mental state that we found ourselves in, going on 500 years of slave bondage. This is what comes along with that, and because we're not willing to change that mentality way of thinking, this is what we gonna keep getting. Just like with the police killings and shootings and the police brutalities and fatal killings of blacks behind, the racist police brutality, So, I mean, this is what comes along with it. And, like I said, this is what we gonna get, you know. And I can't say it enough, but this is what we gonna keep getting, as long as we keep on trying to be comfortable among our racist oppressors, and long as we keep on accepting our condition and state of condition as it is, this is what's gonna keep continuing with us. And like I said, any other black person that don't want to be around black people because of the ignorant state of condition that we continuously choose to stay in, hey, I don't blame them, because I don't want to be around niggas like that either. And I'm just being straight up about it, And I have no, apologies of what I just said. I'm very unapologetic about this, So, you can, call me what you want to call me, a Uncle Tom, a coon, a sellout, who want to be around white people. No, it ain't got nothing to do with me wanting to be around no white folks either. I just don't want to be around a bunch of buffoonery and ignorant type of behavior that goes on among us. That's just that simple. No more, no less, And that's just the bottom line to that. I want to spend a few more years on this earth before I clock out, and not over some dumb shit. Excuse my cussing, but hey, getting killed over a gas pump, getting killed because I stared at somebody's woman, getting killed because somebody stared at me, I'm staring at somebody, or because I bumped into somebody by mistake. Oops, my back. Oh, no, nigga, you bumped into me. Pop. That type of situation, Come on. Don't nobody want to be around no ignorant stuff like that, But, like I said, I didn't plan on, doing this video this long. So, I'm going to get back at y'all. And with that said, peace.